Hello, everyone. How is everybody doing today? How is everybody doing? Guys, I'm not going to make this a real long one. Um, I just was laying in bed last night thinking of a couple things, and you know how your mind starts wandering? And I just went on this thing in my mind about, honestly, I'm not, I mean, I'm not joking. What makes an individual, okay, think about this. What makes an individual a traditional knife guy? A traditional knife guy. And I laid there last night and I was like, I can't hardly think of the reasons why there are not many people at all into the traditional knife hobby, the traditional knife game. Um, I would say it's only, well, percent wise, what would you guys think percent wise on how many of us are out there? I think there's maybe only a handful of us. There's probably only a handful of us that I could think of on YouTube that I actually watch um, uh, their channel. Like mostly traditional knives. You know what I mean? Um, they're they're there are not many of us out there. And what makes us gravitate towards being a traditional knife person? What? What separates us from the modern, the big time, most of us out there are the modern flipper guy, the hinderers, you know, you can't get no more modern. Everybody wants the smoothest, the most, you know what I mean? What separates that individual, okay, from a person that loves traditional knives just as much and gets that much gratification on opening their knives with two hands versus the guy that likes to have the knife drop just ever so smoothly into the scales when he hits that lock bar? What makes us up? What kind of person? That's what I'm thinking. I'm like, there has to be we are certain individuals that make up this. How do I say it? We're separate from. How do I say it, guys? Come on, we're different from all the other people in the hobby, so to speak, aren't we? Don't you feel like we're different? Like maybe even I could say an outcast. Would you say that? Are we outcast? That we are into traditional knives and not so much modern knives? What makes, that's the question. That's the question. Think about this. I went to bed last night just thinking and thinking and thinking. What makes us that person, that traditional knife person? What does it? I'm trying to think of a big modern knife guy. That what here, Birdshot IV. If you ever watch their videos, periodically from time to time, you will hear them say they totally do not like traditional knives, and they make it known. They say it every now and again. You catch them saying it. There ain't no way they're going to carry a traditional knife. They just don't like them. What makes that person different than me? Why? We're all knife people, aren't we? I mean, they're knife people. I'm a huge knife person, but what separates me? What separates me from gravitating and going the other direction, so to speak? Like if you put a how do I say it, guys? What am I saying here? Help me. If I put a case canoe in front of me and you put a how do I say it? Just for an example, and the newest Civivi. okay? The newest Civivi that drops into the scales like butter. Why would I pick the Case Canoe? Why would I pick that knife, that traditional knife? And why would the other 80% of the people pick the Civivi? I can't figure it out. I don't really know. I mean, but there are just a very, very few people out there that are into this little separate world. You know what I mean? And I can't. I thought about it last night, and I thought the words were going to come out better, but you guys know what I'm talking about. I honestly think that I'm getting my point across. I mean, like I said, you see it. I mean, you can honestly tell there are not a whole lot of people out there that dig traditional knives. And I cannot figure out why, because they are so beautiful. And in our own little world, they have great action. They do. Just different action. It's a different kind of action, isn't it? It's a different kind of action than you get from a modern folder. But I get just as much gratification with the walk and talk on my traditional knife than I do my modern folder. I don't know, guys. I'm really asking you to weigh in on this one if you can. Help me out, man. Is there a I'm thinking that there is a difference. Like I said before, man, the only thing I could think of, it just makes me feel like an outcast to say, oh yeah, I'm a traditional knife guy. Oh yeah, I don't, you know what I mean? It's like being at a party, like everybody's walking around with they're flipping their flippers out, man, and they're just fucking watching them suck back into the scales, and they're walking around flipping their knife, and here goes little old Peter over here opening and closing his little case knife or what have you with two hands. I don't know. I don't know. But anyway, I mean, I like modern knives as well. I like them too. But, you know, it's just a different kind of, like, you know what I mean? I separate my modern folders with, you know, I separate them with my traditionals. It's a whole nother ball game. It is a complete different ball game. I love all knives. I love every single one of them. Every one of them. I love the cheap ones. I love them all. I love my Rough Riders, man. I dig my Roughies, man. You know what I mean? But half the people out there wouldn't touch a Rough Rider. You know what I mean? Let alone a traditional knife. Do you think they're going to touch a Rough Rider? Come on, man. It takes a certain individual to really drop that $10 for that Rough Rider, doesn't it? Who out there is dropping the $10 for the Rough Rider? I know I am. I would. But there's not many people. Everybody would look at you like you're crazy. Like, what? Friggin' Rough Rider. Get the hell out of here, man. Not only is it cheap, they'll say not only is it cheap, it's a traditional knife. What do I want that for? I can't get that thing out of my pocket fast enough. Is it just the old guys that are in the traditionals? Is that what it is? I don't think so. I mean, it's old men in the traditionals. Is that where it's at? I don't think that that's the case. I'm trying to figure out what makes a person gravitate towards the traditional knives versus the moderns. I don't know, guys. It's just something to talk about. It's something I thought about going to bed last night. I woke up thinking about it because I'm baffled. I look at these knives and they're just so beautiful. They're pieces of artwork to me. And everybody passes them up like they're nothing. Like they're nothing. Why? I just love them more and more. I mean, you know what I mean? I look at them and I'm like, oh my God, it's beautiful. It is beautiful. It's a beautiful little, I mean, just look at just look at that. Look at the jigging on that little case knife. Look at the fit and finish on that. Look at that knife. But you know something? Once again, there comes the modern guy that would just totally throw this on the ground, right? Look how beautiful that jigging is on it. It's like jewelry. Not only is it like jewelry, but it's super functional. They get super sharp. Here's the action. Look at the half stops on them. It's just a different type of action. It's just a different type of action. All right, guys. Please, this is an important one to me, man. Drop me a comment, please, on this one. Seriously. Let me know what's going on. It's an awful hot one. We are at 110. It's going to feel like 110 today here in South Jersey. Stick with me, guys. Drop me that comment. Stay cool. Please participate in this conversation. I'm awfully curious about this one. And let me know where you guys are at with traditionals, moderns. What do you guys prefer? All right, weigh in. Thanks, guys. I appreciate it. Take care. Be safe out there. And I'll see you guys on the next one. Take care.